My name's Joe Haney, and I'm running for LaPorte County Commissioner. I'm not just running because my friends and neighbors asked me to. I'm running because I'm sick and tired of what I've seen in this county over the past several years. You know, it's worse than business as usual. This is a culture of bare minimum that's been permeated from the top down because of a lack of leadership from the commission. Worse than that, there's what I call the seedy underbelly of LaPorte County politics. First of all, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I live right here in LaPorte County full-time. I don't own a second home. I don't live anywhere else. Right here in LaPorte County. Door Village to be precise. I live here with my wife and 3 daughters. I'm not an opportunist. This corn you see here behind me, this is my field. I didn't just pull off the road to pose for some photos like some politicians do. My house is right there, about 50 yards that way to be precise. I live here full time, and I've been fighting for LaPorte County and for myself as well for the last several years to right what I believe is a wrong ship. We have to fix things here in this county, and we can't allow them to stand any longer. What is the stuff I'm talking about? Let me show you right now. This is the county home behind me. You'll excuse the road noise. We're right off of State Road 2 here. This entire building, or maybe I should more aptly call it, was the county home. This was built in 1866 and has stood as a symbol of LaPorte County and the community since then, 1866. This entire massive building, the over 5 acres of land it sits on, and a commercial generator valued at over $35,000 was sold earlier this year by the commission for $50,000. That's right, 5 acres of prime real estate right here on State Road 2, the county home, commercial generator, $50,000. Now my opponent, Commissioner Cora, is trying to distance himself from this. I've heard his latest ad trying to distance himself from it and claim it's on the tax rolls. Tell me, what kind of tax are we going to be getting out of a property that just sold for $50,000? On top of that, he's also trying to personally distance himself from this and the motion that he made. Make no mistake, on February 19th, he made the motion for this county home for the boundary survey and the land that it sits on. He made the motion and he voted for it. This is his thing. He has to take ownership for this. I'll put up the facts right here so you can see it for yourself. It landlocked over 2.5 acres of county-owned property behind the county home. What are we gonna do with that land? And that's not all. There's more that's going on behind the scenes here in LaPorte County, and it's time we start talking about it. Let's head to the next spot. Before we talk about this next stop here, one other thing I wanted to address about the county home was the idea that it was going to cost the county millions of dollars to fix and bring up to code. It's important to point out that recently former Commissioner Connie Grammarosa went on record stating that the county had received interest in the property of up to and in excess of $500,000 from other private investors. Again, that county home sold for $50,000, whereas we had interest in that property in excess of $500,000. It's important to point that out. This isn't necessarily about the county maintaining the property, it's about how the property was, quote, disposed of. So this is another example of what I'm talking about. Behind me is 507 Monroe Street. I'm going to lay out the timeline for you here of this property, and you can make up your mind for yourself just what you think about it. In 2015, this property was purchased for $76,000. In January of 2018, it was listed for $160,000. For those who aren't familiar, this is a defunct carpet warehouse. It's been vacant for a long time. As I was saying, in January 2018, it was listed for $160,000. Sat on the market, did not sell. It was relisted in early 2020, again for $160,000. And it sat on the market from early 2020, technically going back January 2018, all the way through to September 1st of this year, where it did not sell, all the way through for $160,000. On September 2nd, Commissioner Cora made a motion to proceed with due diligence in an attempt to purchase this property for alleged personal protective equipment storage. On October 7th, he made the motion, he voted for it, it was approved, and due diligence was allegedly going to proceed from that point. On October 7th, I spoke at the county commissioners meeting because on the agenda that night was a purchase agreement to buy the property that night on October 7th, this specific property for $185,000. That's right, $25,000 more than the listed sale price where it didn't sell for over 2.5 years. If you're scratching your head wondering what's going on, So was I. So I confronted the county commissioners at the commission meeting, and I asked them just what was going on. I encourage all of you, head to my Facebook page. You can get there by going to joeforlaporte.com. Head to my Facebook page, check out the press release I have there, and you can watch. I have the time delineations laid out. You can watch the Alco video for yourself of exactly what transpired during that meeting. I encourage all of you to check it out. I have the timestamps there, so you don't have to waste time watching the entire meeting. You can skip right to the points where this property is discussed. On it, the county commission attorney admitted to having a, quote, personal relationship with the seller of this property. He also admitted on tape that he made, quote, assurances to the seller that a purchase agreement would be put before the commission in regards to this property. He also admitted to the fact that it was his request, and this is on video. He admitted on video that this property was pulled from the market at, quote, his request. Again, the motion to buy this property was done on September 2nd. This property was pulled off the market before September 2nd. Where was the authority for this? Where's the transparency? What is going on in this county? Absolutely had it with these types of situations, and I can promise you as commissioner, things like this will not happen on my watch. I'm not a politician. I've never even ran for political office before. I'm a small business owner. Before that, I was a clinical operations manager where I worked with the transplant team at the University of Chicago, as well as with the trauma team, level 1 trauma team at Christ Medical Center. At this point in the video, I'm supposed to say something like paid for by friends of Joe. Well, the truth is this video is costing me $0 to make. I'm recording it with my own camera that I've owned for years, on a tripod I've owned for years, go home and edit it on my computer that I've owned, with software I've owned for years, upload it to a free Facebook page, and then from there, I'm not gonna boost it. I just don't have the money that my opponent has to do that. I'm gonna need your help if you found this information valuable to share it out, like it, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think, and again, most importantly, share this video so the truth can get out. Like I said, I don't have the money that my opponent has. In total, we've raised about $2,000 and spent about $2,000 in total. That's between signs, a few radio ads, and other things to help get our message out. And thank you. All my contributors have been from individuals, and all my contributors have live right here in LaPorte County. We've accepted $0 in corporate donations. Every donor lives right here in LaPorte County, and we haven't taken any massive, tens of thousands of dollars of donations from anybody or anything like that. It's from ordinary folks like you, and thank you for your support. My opponent, on the other hand, 3/4 of his contributors live outside of LaPorte County. 3/4. That's an insane number. What's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars doing flooding into LaPorte County from places like Lake County, Indianapolis, Illinois? A petroleum company in Illinois donating hundreds of dollars to my opponent. Lawyers out of Indianapolis donating hundreds of dollars to my opponent. Why? What is that money going for? It doesn't make any sense. And if you're wondering, what is going on here, according to that same October 9th filing, this campaign had raised about $50,000 as of that October 9th filing. And looking at it, I don't think that includes the money that he's been spending on things like television ads or the most recent attack ads against me, trying to distance himself from his decisions regarding the county home, what's happened with his property on Monroe Street, and other issues I've called out and I've documented right here today. I've been fully transparent and forthright about what's going on here, and I need your help to get this message out. With me on November 3rd, and together we can give LaPorte County back to the people.